I am challenging each and every one of you to walk the 60,000-mile human superhighway with the Great Circulation Challenge, the greatcirculationchallenge.org. Get a team, do it as an individual, grab your pup. You walk 22 minutes more each day. If you have a dog, that's what one study shows. So get out, take steps to better health, both vascular and cardiovascular. I have Dr. John Phillips with me from Columbus, Ohio. He has the Save My Piggies team. And we have Dr. Daniel Nathanson from the San Francisco Vein and Vascular Institute that is here. And I hear, Dr. Nathanson, you're going to start a team as well. Any ideas for the name of your team for the Bay Area? Maybe the Bay Area Walkers or something?
Golden Gate Walkers.
Golden Gate Walkers. So we're going to start actually as we're here. I'll start that for you. And then
Right on.
everyone who is, watching right now in the San Francisco Bay Area, even throughout California, can join that team. Maybe Dr. John, do you want to explain a little bit more about the challenge and what we're doing and the 60,000
I
miles
mean,
of
yeah,
human superhighway?
it's simple and intuitive. And September is PAD Awareness Month. 230-ish million people around the world have PAD. 10% of those actually develop chronic limb-threatening ischemia, which is the most severe form of it, more deadly than most cancers. And so one of the treatment recommendations that we have for treating PAD is walking. And yes, folks, when they walk, can get some discomfort. Muscles get a little bit more cramped than normal when the blood flow is not as robust as it should be. But walking is that medicine, and it helps create what we call bypasses or collaterals if the vessel's blocked. Mother Nature's pretty smart, so she can reroute things pretty well, but you got to help her out and you've got to walk. And Kimberly found out, I didn't know this, that there's evidently 60,000 arteries, veins, connections in the body. And so she put together a really cool, I was watching it last night and I was on I found it on an email that you had sent out, but like this little guy in a vessel kind of running around and basically he was, he'd get to the brain and that was he kind of checked that box and then went all the way. I don't know where he started, but ended up getting out the foot and did his 60,000 miles. So the goal is, right, you get a team together and everybody walks as much as they can to complete the whole loop of 60,000 miles. So that's a tall order, but certainly get enough people, you can get her done.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Nathanson, did you know that there was 60,000 miles of vessels in the body as a vascular surgeon? I'm sure maybe that the first thing they taught you.
I learned that from you too, Kim. I didn't know. 60,000 miles. Wow.
I learned it. There's an organization in England that they have the Circulation Life Challenge and they call it the Circulation Tree of 60,000 miles. And that's where I first learned about it. So I thought that was pretty awesome when I found out about it. Now, when it comes to finding out exactly how many miles between, let's say, your heart and your brain, they don't really have that uh, mapped out. So we're just
Guessing.
guesstimating.
You're guessing, right?
But we have 39 milestones that everyone's going to hit along the way. We're not going to do the 60,000 miles as just one person. You can, after the challenge, we'll give you the option to continue to try and reach 60,000 miles on your own. But the whole idea is it takes a village. Let's save life and limb together. Let's walk it together. We have teams across the globe as far as Essex. Dr. Ankur Thapar, who's a top researcher for PAD, they just started some new walking research. And so he said, this is great. I want my team to get excited about walking as medicine. So he started the Essex Eagles. So for those of you watching, make sure you join his team. Or we have Dr. Chris Seenan, who started his team, another world-renowned walking researcher out of Glasgow, Scotland. So he has his Scotland team. And I'm trying
Right,
to
but who doesn't want to save piggies? Come on, people, let's go.
Right. And we have Douglas who's joining us. Douglas, you have a question or a comment? He actually has the Bucky's Wanderers, and it's a patient group. So he's going to come on here. I bet you,
Who's Bucky?
Douglas, Bucky, you've never heard of
Bucky.
Bucky's?
Oh, the
Yes, you
Gas
have. You
station.
know the beaver that's all the
Yeah.
rage right now in Ohio.
oh yeah, they're getting some in Columbus. Okay, that's the
So,
gas
but I
station
wanted
thing.
Yes,
They're
it is.
suing Beaver Creek, Ohio because they have a beaver.
But I wanted
Wow.
to
It's been
share,
all over the news.
it's going to be an amazing month. It's going to be an amazing month of inspiration, hope, courage, and strength for all of us as PAD warriors. And I want y'all to remember this. If you start off the month at 10 steps, by the end of the month, you're doing 100 steps. It's all about the progress. It's all about getting up every day, finding a purpose and a goal that day to walk, 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 and
Yep.
build those collaterals. It's all about, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to learn. But it really, truly is about taking that one extra step every day and the importance about being our best advocates and taking that one step every day.
It must be music to your ears, Dr. Nathanson, to hear someone with PAD talking like that.
Oh yeah, that is great. I need to bring you into the office and have you see all my patients with me. That's man, that's really cool. I appreciate all that work. That's great to
And
hear.
that's why we need y'all to help us realize with our patients. Sometimes we hear this, well, I can't walk to the end of the couch, so I'm not going to walk. And we all think, well, you have to walk into claudication to build the collaterals, right? But if you can't, some of our patients, some of our friends, warriors, can't walk into claudication right now. But by the end of the month, the hope is that you can. And it is about getting up and finding that purpose and believing and trusting in yourself every day, y'all. All my PAD warriors out there, it's about believing and trusting in yourself, getting up every day and taking that one extra step. Even if it's that one step counts as much as somebody with 10,000 or 100,000 steps. It is just as important to take that one extra step every day, everybody.
And it's so amazing because that's the way Douglas and our friends on our PAD Warrior Task Force through the Global PAD Association inspired us to figure out how to democratize the milestones and the awards in this process. And we do have the team awards. We're going to make it possible for the teams to chat amongst themselves. But what's amazing is that whether you take one step or 1,000, you have the equal chance to actually become what we call a milestone hero, the person that's going to cross the line into the aorta, the person that's going to have that last step or that last mile into the heart or into the brain or the circle of Willis or wherever it might be, into the legs, of course. Um, you could have Dr. Nathanson, your team, or Dr. Phillips, your Save My Piggies team, and you could literally be walking. You could have 100 miles between the two, and you're one step that you don't realize from, let's say, that one milestone. And one of our PAD warriors literally gets up from the couch and takes that one step. They're our milestone hero. They cross that threshold, they're our hero. And so it's just kind of the whole idea that Douglas was mentioning, that it's just a matter of taking that one extra step that could lead to saving your leg, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's we all, or at least I have had multiple patients that have felt like, man, I just can't walk, or there's a little bit of depression, I think, that kind of sets in too when they've kind of are at the end of the road with respect to revascularization strategies, whether it's more stents or bypass, and thankfully they don't have any chronic limb threatening ischemia and I shouldn't say just, but only claudication. But I have one patient who's been on the show, I think a couple times, who is a stalwart when it comes to walking, and he keeps track of it. And again, it's baby steps, and whatever it is, a mile one day, 1.1 miles the next, and it just builds and builds and builds. And is he going to run marathons? Probably not, but most of us aren't anyway. And so we know that the exercise is the elixir of life. Like there is nothing more that, I mean, yes, we have great pills and whatnot, but just in general, if you exercise on a regular basis, and we recommend 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity exercise, so that's 30 minutes, 5 days a week, getting to zone two on your watch, which is a heart rate typically like, 120s or so. You do that, you're going to live longer. You're going to have less cardiovascular events, less stroke rate, less neurocognitive decline, less cancer rates. So just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
I was just gonna say, Kim, the community aspect of it too, because there's lots of research to show that when you have that support of the community, a community of other PAD patients who are you're supporting each other, that is huge. And then, yeah, what Dr. Phillips is saying about I tell all my patients it's not just about the legs, it's also about cardiovascular health, cardiac health, respiratory, pulmonary, and the neurocognitive decline piece. A lot of research to suggest that the rates of dementia are reduced among patients who, in people in the general population who are exercising more.
I'm going to put a plug in too. Speaking of neurocognitive decline, about making sure you're eating healthy, taking the appropriate nutrients. Look up creatine, CoQ10 for that stuff, big time. But anyway, I love what you've done here, Kim. PAD awareness. So I was at a conference, and this is the last thing I'll say. But I was at a conference this week again on critical limb ischemia, and it it becomes frustrating when we speak at these events, and Dr. Nathanson, I think you hopefully would feel the same way. And people present cases where they kind of saved a leg or some piggies and whatnot, but it starts like, well, this patient was referred to me because they were told they needed a BKA or some major amputation at another place. Like that doesn't happen in any other disease. I mean, people with coronary disease, they get, if the physician or the treating physician can't take care of them, they get referred elsewhere. For whatever reason, in this patient population, they don't get referred, and it's like, oh, they're referred, they're just going to get a BK or major amputation. And what you're doing and what we try to do with the show is raise awareness. And this program, the 60,000 miles, the walking is medicine, is helping achieve that goal. But it's so frustrating to continue to hear people being referred for amputations when these doctors know that there are other people out there, other physicians out there that will give them a chance. It boggles my mind.
Oh, I'm dealing with that right now in North Carolina, and the patient is completely bamboozled. They won't even entertain a second opinion. They're 47, and the doctor said to them, "Well, you've already had 7 procedures, and so why delay the inevitable? Why not just do it right now?" And the thing is, for patients, you don't understand, and Dr. Nathanson would agree with this as well. Just because you have 7 procedures doesn't mean you had 7 of the right procedures for your presentation of disease. There are people that do treat PAD, but then there are people that have advanced skills to be able to treat the most advanced stage, or to even prevent you from getting to the most advanced stage, because they have done so much advanced learning. And Dr. Nathanson, I think you agree, not all treatment is created equal.
Yeah, so I completely agree with what Dr. Phillips is saying. There is this with peripheral arterial disease, these turf issues, and there are three sets of physicians that take care of these patients: cardiologists, interventional radiologists, and vascular surgeons. And it varies from community to community, but um, for us, we strongly feel that it's whatever is in the patient's best interest. And if there's somebody out there that can do something that I can't do, then we'll actually bring them on, and we can even do it together. I have a cardiologist who does peripheral interventions, who is a shareholder in my ASC, and when he runs into trouble, or needs another pair of hands, he just, I'm in the next room, and vice versa. Yeah, it varies between communities. In San Francisco, the interventional radiologists are not doing peripheral interventions, but that isn't any reason to think that they can't, and that some of them aren't as qualified and skilled as the rest of us. So it is disheartening when it seems like the patient is not coming first.
No, it's interesting because when it comes to cancer, it's literally widely respected and done to have um, a second look out there to see if there's a different study or someone who has a different option for any patient. It's not anything that could hurt an ego. Like no one looks at it like that. They just realize in the cancer space that different areas have different treatment options. And that's why we're getting ready to launch padtrials.org this fall, which is going to democratize access. And since we're now speaking, I'm going to talk to you, and since you're right here, about being on our board of advisors for launching that and vetting the studies that we're going to be putting on there and figuring out how are we going to expand, how do we reach the doctors in the small community hospitals to be able to help them to know that this is a resource not only for being direct to patients, but also the best option is to make it a shared decision making experience for a doctor in these areas that don't have some of these advanced options to help decide maybe a trial that might be appropriate for them in a different area and create that village, right, going forward. Because if the patient has to travel for a procedure, they're still going to need their original doctor for aftercare. So it's everyone that needs to be all hands and feet, I would say, on deck.
Absolutely, 100%, and always happy to help.
But before you get to these procedures, walking is, of course, the best medicine. And that's why we're really promoting, one, the team aspect and everyone coming together and for patients to realize that with the clinicians and physicians, everyone's all in walking as medicine and helping to reach those 60,000 miles in the Great Circulation Challenge in 30 days. Whew. Um, we are doing a little cheatery though, Dr. Nathanson. We're not just doing it to where you have to click the button. So you'll be able to see our app when you download it. It is the app for the Great Circulation Challenge, but it's also our app for our walking program. So you'll get to actually play with that a little bit as a patient would. But when we sign you up as a physician for the walking program, you'll be able to then have your patient sign up, be a part of your clinic. And then you can actually continue to motivate them. You can even walk with them. You can send them videos and pictures, and they can share their milestones in the group as well. So you can have this great community that you create around your practice. But to actually compete in the Great Circulation Challenge, you don't have to say start your walk. Um, it'll just log your steps. So as long as your app is open, meaning even if it's not on your screen, you kept it open, you didn't kind of swipe it closed. As long as it's open, it's going to continue to grab your steps, or else the next time you open, it'll go to your step tracker. As long as you approve grabbing it from your step tracker, it'll log your steps automatically. So instead of, a few thousand steps or a couple miles, you'll end up, with 10 to 20,000 steps in the day that's going to get added. So we may reach our 60,000 mile mark sooner than we think because of that.
Great. That sounds great, Kim.
We have Hines and then Douglas.
Oh, I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what was said already, that after my first set of SFA stents, which is the femoral artery, got blocked, my walking was so painful, and I had to hang my foot off the bed at night. But through walking, I got to the point that after a couple months of walking without stopping, and I had very minor claudication. And because I was set to get another procedure done, eventually they put stents inside the crushed stents. I had a CT scan done, and it showed all my collaterals. Amazing. So my point is it can be done. Wasn't easy. in my mind, it was necessary, and I'm still walking every day.
I love that, Heinz. Really nice. And you're always inspiring so many people to walk, walk, walk. And throughout the month of September, we have a doctor a day, which I know that Heinz is going to be there ready, armed with questions to ask every single doctor that we have throughout the month of September. Make sure you do, if you're on our YouTube channel, um, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And under the live section, you will see all of the videos, like literally almost every day we have a different doctor just answering patient questions. So sign up for your favorites. Douglas, go ahead.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that. And I know Dr. Nathanson will probably, how's this sound? We have to hold ourselves accountable for our part in taking care of ourselves. We go to the doctor, he has to coach, he does his job, and then it's not my job to go home and sit. He did his job. Now I'm good to go. I'm not responsible for anything. So I have to take on part of that responsibility when he does his job. I leave there. I have to eat better, stop smoking, walk. So and that's part about this challenge. I'm looking forward to being accountable every day for my part and being my best advocate for myself. Not only my doctor does his job, but I'm doing my job. I have to do my job. We all have to do our job. Walk. Heinz is right. You can do this. I believe everybody in our group, everyone that signed up, you can do it. But you have to be accountable for that. You have to hold yourself accountable for your part. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great challenge. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And as we finish out here, I hope everyone can join us. Make sure the Great Circulation challenge.org. I'm going to share this incredible video that was put together that Dr. John mentioned in the beginning. Excited about this. I'll close out afterwards, letting you know the Great Circulation Challenge again. We have hundreds, literally at this point, that have signed up, lots of patients, lots of teams right here in the San Francisco Bay Area. We also had Hill Vascular with Brad Hill down in Campbell. So we might have a little maybe Bay Area competition as well. And then we have Champlain Vascular, we have Reflow Medical, which has a very large team. They're an industry, they create that retractable stent. We have Endologics, which created the Detour, the minimally invasive bypass known as PTAB. They've joined Egg Medical, which is trying to protect amazing doctors like Dr. Nathanson and Dr. Phillips from the harmful radiation, putting their lives on the line for your legs. We have Pro Patient Marketing, which actually works with clinics that do embolization activities. And oh my goodness, I can't think of all of them. The New York State Podiatric Medical Association has joined. Wound care, the Wound Care Management Conference out of the Northwest from well-assembled meetings. A whole bunch of people have joined there. So, and lots of teams from patients. So lots of great people. Let's watch this video.
I would hate for the Bucky Warriors kind of take over and be in charge walking up, but
maybe we have a direct competition between the Bucky's Wanderers and the Golden Gate Walkers with Dr. Daniel Nathanson and see who has the most steps and the most engagement. Dr. Nathanson, we have a poster you can actually put up on your wall throughout the month. And then all those patients that sign up for your team, then ultimately they can be automatically moved into the walking program as well. But we'll talk about that more in just a second as we close out. But here's a great video put together by Don, our wonderful PAD warrior out of the Philippines. If it'll pull up. There we go. Do you guys see it? Okay.
Hey, welcome to the Great Circulation Challenge, a first-of-its-kind global peripheral artery disease walking journey. 60,000 collective miles through the human circulatory system, and it all starts right here. At the heart, every single step you take helps grow new pathways, collateral vessels. Log your steps, Join a team or build your own. Next checkpoint, the brain. Now we ride the aorta highway. Every step raises awareness for poor circulation, heart disease, peripheral artery disease, diabetes, and aortic aneurysm. Give me a high five. Next checkpoint, the hand. Final stretch, down the leg, into the foot. The first team to finish the 60,000 miles becomes the challenge hero. So lace up, register today, and join the Great Circulation Challenge. Every step counts.
Wasn't that awesome? So much fun. So make sure you guys do sign up. You can call a Leg Saver hotline at 1-833-PAD-LEGS in case you have trouble. But go to the greatcirculationchallenge.org to make sure to sign up. Of course, the patient group, the Bucky's Wanderers, but Heinz here has the Rocky Mountain, what is it? The Rocky Mountain Walkers, I think, Heinz, that you have for your area. Is that what it is? The Rocky Mountain Walkers?
Correct.
Perfect. And then we also have our UK groups. Make sure you check those out for Scotland and England, especially Essex. That big shout out for Dr. Anker Thapar and his team, the Essex Eagles. But of course, the Golden Gate Walkers right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, maybe all throughout California. Everyone join his team as well. You can find out more about Dr. Nathanson at San Francisco Vein and Vascular Institute.com. And Dr. Phillips had to go run. He's on call. He probably had a STEMI, I would imagine. He has to go save a life. But he has his Columbus Save My Piggies. So if you're in Ohio, make sure you join his team as well. And who has joined his team is Chef Eric, who is one of Dr. Phillips' patients. He also on YouTube just the other day, at The Way to My Heart, that's our handle. He actually made these cute little energy balls that Alan, our friend Alan from Canada, also joined in showing his fuel, his heart healthy fuel. So make sure you learn how to make some of those great heart healthy and artery friendly snacks by going to our last Patty's Plate, which we just did yesterday. But go to the greatcirculationchallenge.org. Join a team. We want to get to I'd love to get to 1,000 walkers if we can by the end of September. So the greatcirculationchallenge.org, whether it's 1 step or 1,000 steps, you're taking steps to better health. So let's save life and limb together.